This happened in 2012, near Shiprock, New Mexico. I was staying with my grandparents for the summer, helping with chores and learning a little Navajo from my grandpa. They lived miles from the nearest neighbor, just flat desert, mesas, and silence. One night, my older brother and I were out feeding the dogs when we saw something at the edge of the brush line. At first, we thought it was a coyote, thin, hunched over, but it didn't move like an animal. It stood up, on two legs, and then it smiled. We bolted inside. Grandpa locked every door and burned cedar in all four corners of the house. He didn't explain much, just kept muttering something under his breath in Navajo. Hours later, just before sunrise, we heard it again, scratching at the back door. I peeked through the curtain, and I saw my brother standing outside. Except, my brother was asleep in the other room. The thing was wearing his face like a mask. The expression was all wrong. Smiling too wide, eyes too still. It tapped on the glass and said, "Let me in. I'm cold." We didn't open the door, but every night for the rest of the week, it came back, wearing different faces, just staring, smiling. In January of 2019, my cousin and I were driving back from a snowboarding trip near the Utah-Navajo border. We took a back road shortcut to beat the storm, which turned out to be a huge mistake. The sun was setting and snow was starting to fall when we saw footprints in the snow on the side of the road. Barefoot, human, but spaced apart like whatever made them had been running. Fast. We slowed down. About 100 feet ahead, something ran across the road. At first it looked like a man on all fours, but its limbs were too long, and its head was twisted completely backward. My heart sunk to the bottom of my stomach. I floored it, but the thing kept pace with us, running alongside the car and the trees. Every time we looked, it ducked behind a trunk. Then we hit a stretch with no trees, just open snow, and there it was, standing still. It looked like a man, no clothes, skin stretched too tight, eyes pitch black, and in its hand, it held a deer skull. We didn't stop driving until we hit a gas station 2 hours away. The worst part? When we came back outside from the gas station, we noticed footprints in the snow around our car. Barefoot, circling. It was tracking us. When I was 14, my family moved to a rural house outside Gallup. It backed up against open land and thin woods. At night, we'd sometimes hear animals out in the distance, coyotes mostly. One night I was taking out the trash when I heard my mom's voice call my name. "Zach, come here." But it wasn't coming from the house. It was coming from the tree line. I froze. She called again, same tone, same voice, only now it was closer, like she was whispering from just beyond the brush. I turned and looked, and I saw her silhouette. My mom, standing half in shadow, smiling, except my real mom was inside. I could see her through the window, washing dishes. The thing tilted its head at me, like it was studying how I would react. I ran inside and locked the door. That night, I couldn't sleep. Around 3 a.m., I heard tapping on my bedroom window. I looked up. It was still out there, still wearing my mother's shape, still whispering my name. Zach, come out. I never saw it again after that night. But sometimes when I walk past the woods, I swear I hear her voice echo faintly from behind the trees. This happened in 2018 near Gallup, New Mexico. I was driving home late, the road empty except for my headlights cutting through the dark. I passed a cornfield about a mile from my driveway when I caught movement between the rows. It looked like a man, standing completely still, just watching the road. I slowed, thinking maybe it was a neighbor, but as my lights hit him, something felt wrong. His head jerked slightly, like it didn't sit right on his neck. Then he stepped forward. No shoes, pale, cracked skin. His eyes reflected the headlights like an animal's. He opened his mouth, and instead of words, a dog's bark came out, low and guttural. I slammed the gas, but in the mirror, he was running beside the car, barefoot, keeping pace, his head snapping toward me every few steps. When I finally turned onto my driveway, he was gone. But in the morning, I found bare footprints in the dirt. They led from the road, straight into the corn. I decided to move the next week. In 2021, I went hiking alone in a narrow canyon outside Monument Valley. It was late afternoon, the light turning the walls a deep gold, when I heard my mother's voice call my name. My mom was hundreds of miles away. The canyon made the sound echo so it seemed to come from everywhere at once. I turned to head back, and that's when I saw it, half hidden behind a rock. A man-shaped shadow, too tall, arms hanging low enough that the fingertips brushed the ground. Its head tilted slowly, like it was curious. It stepped into the open, and even from 50 feet away, I could see it smile. Then, in my own voice, it said, "Come here." My whole body froze. Its legs bent wrong, like it was about to run. That's when I did, sprinting until the canyon opened into the desert. I didn't look back, and I'll never hike there alone again.